Mic check, mic check. Morning Masters Podcast. Your host, Maiden, of course. I got a special guest across from me. All right. If you don't mind, 'cause I know the city at the Wellstar, Columbia County Medical Center. That's not open yet. But if you don't mind, tell them your name and what you do here.
Yeah, Nelson. So I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Wellstar Columbia County Medical Center.
Okay. I like to start with this. Like, what does that entail? I know it's a fancy term, but like, what does that term entail for you? What's your day to day?
Wow, every day is a little bit different, right? We're not open yet, so up until now, I've been in the position since September of last year, and so up until now, I've been focused on recruiting, finishing out the construction, making sure that we have all the equipment that we need, supplies. But a lot of it's been just focused on building the team, and then once we had the team, it was building the processes to ensure that we're ready to open to see patients on day one.
Okay, well, before I get into some of the Wellstar questions I do have, I want to ask about you a little bit. So just talk about your background, because I know we hear COO. I want to just kind of talk about your background, like what's some things you've done, just kind of so how you got to where you are right now.
Yeah, I would say I have a little bit of a non-traditional background. So out of college, I joined the Army. So I was ROTC in college. I went to Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. Joined the Army, and then that was in 1997. Spent 26 years in the Army, and then just moved around. I was a medical service corps officer in the Army, so a healthcare administrator. So it's not that I was in the Army as an infantryman and then came to work at a hospital. I was working in hospitals and clinics throughout my career, and then had the opportunity to join Wellstar afterwards.
Well, before I get any further than that, talk about that a little bit, like working in and out the hospital field, just within your career. What's some things you took, even if they're small lessons, what's some things you learned just from going around from place to place?
Oh, I think the biggest thing that you learn in the Army is just how to lead, how to be a good leader, how to treat people. I mean, people are our most important asset, regardless of what job you're in. So, in general, the thing that I've learned is if you take care of people, that they'll take care of the mission.
I like that. It was a term I heard not a long time ago, but in retail. It's funny, I always bring it up talking to somebody that is in the hospital field. The term is if you either you take care of your people, they'll take care of you, and that can go both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
So I always thought that was a cool saying because it's true, on both sides of the fence. Okay, and so just talk about, like you said, Cleveland. So how you got to Augusta?
Oh, I came here because my last job in the Army was at Fort Gordon. I was the deputy commander for administration, so it's equivalent to the chief operating officer of Eisenhower Army Medical Center.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's kind of military.
Yeah, it was military, and then I retired in 2022. I was geographically separated from my family at the time, so they were up in North Georgia. I moved up to be with them when I retired. I was up there for about a year and a half, and then had the opportunity to join Wellstar and to come back, and so definitely it was a great fit. So I'm glad I was selected.
And this is out of curiosity now, just me just being nosy. Like, what made you stay? Why Augusta?
I think this position was a unique position in that this hospital is basically on the backside of Fort Gordon. And so I in some ways, it was sort of a continuation of the mission that I had in my military career. So I had the opportunity to take care of service members, families, veterans that live in the community. And so that appealed to me. And then just the opportunity to join Wellstar was a great fit as well.
If you mind, speak on that a little bit, Wellstar. Like as a company, just talk about some of their qualities and characteristics.
Yeah, one, it's a nonprofit, so that appeals to me. I didn't want to be in a for-profit health system. The relentless focus on quality is important, and then patient experience. It's a strong healthcare system and growing, and so that attracted to me as well.
Well, I want to kind of talk about the Columbia County Medical Center. When is it opening, and how long has this process been to even have a grand opening date?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. So that the journey far predates my arrival to Augusta area. So our opening date, just to answer that first, is our opening date is August 26th. Okay. So next week, it's right around the corner. We're very excited about that. But the journey to get here has been a long time coming. It actually started when Columbia County themselves issued a request for proposal to the local health systems This was, I think, in the early 2010s, 2012 timeframe. They requested requests for proposals from the local hospital systems to see who could build a hospital. AU Medical Center at that time won that bid, and then they submitted for the certificate of need. That certificate of need was approved in 2014. So over a decade ago, this community requested a hospital to be built based on what they perceived to be the demand. After the CON was approved, it was stuck in litigation for quite some time. And then I think we got the green light to move forward in 2023, and that's when we started construction. So here we are on the cusp of opening August of 2026, which is 12 years past when the initial request came through, when the county initially asked for a hospital to be built. So we know the need is there, and we know that this county continues to grow. So I think that we will be here to grow along with it.
No, I think it's cool to even talk about this process. You think about a proposal and then what happens afterwards. A lot of times that's what's in the tabloids. You see it in the news, you see that one little headline, and then you got somebody thinking like, they said this 7 years ago and nothing happened.
Yeah.
But it's so many things that have to happen for it even to break ground.
That's right.
So, and then driving around here, like I said, it looked good. It looked good. That's my first time actually driving over here in a long time. I don't be in Grovetown like that, but it looked good though so far. So we'll see. What does it mean like for the community though? Like not even just it being in Columbia County, just for Augusta as a whole. What does this expansion mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at it from two ways, right? So before we open, right? If you're a resident of Columbia County and you're sick or you were injured somehow, there's no hospital here, so you've got to go into Richmond County. Your choices are to go to Doctors, Piedmont, or MCG downtown. So you got to leave the county to get care. So once we open, now there's an option here locally in the county that they can come to for care. I mean, that's what we want to do, is we want to increase access locally so that they can get the care here. And then that extends beyond Columbia County too. So like if you go further west towards Atlanta, some of those rural counties, now they have an option, much closer to them rather than going all the way downtown. So I think that's a great benefit. And then for Augusta, Augusta has 3 hospitals, or they're the main 3 hospitals, but they're constantly at capacity. And so adding this hospital here is going to relieve some of that burden for some of those hospitals.
That's what I was thinking, more of on the relief factor as well. As a resident of Augusta, you go down there a lot and it's crowded, and
Right.
sometimes you can't make sense of why. But then something like this happens, and you build here, and you're like, okay, now I see why, because it's kind of a want for a medical center in this space. Probably because everybody going across the bridge and going downtown, so you get crowded down there.
That's right.
So I like that. I do like that idea. But talk about when you think about Wellstar and the expansion, what that could do, just opportunity-wise with jobs, employment.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think anytime you have a hospital, it's an economic driver, right? So we bring people here. This campus, when we're fully open, it's going to employ over 1,000 people. So you think about that, additional 1,000 people down Gateway Boulevard. That means there's going to be a need for more restaurants, more shops. So I think that's going to help develop this area even further. And we're still hiring. So on day one, so far we've hired over 650 people.
Oh wow!
Of the 1,000. So we're opening the hospital at 50% capacity. We have active construction going to expand our emergency department, to build out our medical office building, which opens in November. So we're going to continue to hire, and we think we need over 1,000 once the campus is fully built out. So I would encourage anybody that's looking for a job, and we have all types of jobs, not just clinical. We have administrative jobs, we have environmental services, food service workers, patient access. So there's a variety of jobs that will be available here. So anybody who's interested should go to careers.wellstar.org. There's a landing page there. They can search up Columbia County. That's updated frequently. So as jobs become open, they'll be able to see that.
Okay, I like that. Well, that's a lot. 650. That's a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. Even like the 1,000 mark is going to be even greater. But
Yeah.
650 is nothing to not tip your hat on. I want to ask what's you think the biggest difference is going to be rather in leading a military hospital and a community hospital nonprofit.
You know,
Different rules, I'm assuming.
no, I think the principles are the same, right? I think there's a misconception that in the military, it's very like top down driven, and the leader says like, "Hey, you do this," and then like everybody salutes and follows. And I don't. Nothing could be further from the truth. I think when you're a leader of an organization, right, like you have to lead through consensus. You've got to. Most people, like if you tell them they need to do something, a lot of people just want to know the why behind it. So you tell them the why, you build consensus, you have a compelling vision for what you want to build, and then I think people will generally follow. Um, Certainly in a like civilian private healthcare, we're very focused on productivity and profit margin, but I think at the core of what we want to do is we want to provide high quality healthcare. We want to provide excellent patient experience, and that so I think if we do those two things right, people are going to come, and then our bottom line, like we'll meet our bottom line goals for sure. I have no doubt.
Well, speaking of bottom line and goals, I was going to ask that, like, do you have any goals? I hate to put you on the spotlight, but I know hospitals get rankings. It's a lot of lists that, y'all are all ranked in some kind of hierarchy, some way, whether it's care or, whatever that may look like in the hospital field. What are your thoughts on that as far as, like, just being a open medical center?
Yeah, so I don't have any goals, like number goals in mind. Like I want to be number one or et cetera.
Yeah.
I want us to be known for high quality care and then great patient experience. We have this brand new facility. It's beautiful. I think if we deliver on those two and we're in this brand new hospital, the word of mouth is just going to drive patients to come here. We want to be the destination for care in Columbia County and beyond. So if we do those two things right, people are going to come to us naturally.
Yeah, you mentioned word of mouth. What do you want from community? Just as far as them speaking on the hospital or just their experience. Or would there be something they can do to talk about their experience, whether it be good or bad?
Oh yeah, I mean certainly. I think nowadays, right? It's a lot of things are promoted by word of mouth and through social media, et cetera. So certainly, if they have a great experience or they experience great care, we want them to talk about it, and we want them to make it known, like, hey, if you want care, come to Columbia County Medical Center, and they'll take care of you.
And this is me asking now, because I don't know, and I know the verbiage for it, but what would be, besides location, of course, the difference in this Wellstar Columbia County Medical Center and MCG Wellstar on 15th Street, Harper Street?
Yeah. So
Besides size.
yeah, it's kind of like a hub and spoke model, if you will. So MCG is a quaternary care academic medical center. So it's a much larger facility, and they have the depth of clinical experience is much greater there. They have specialists for everything downtown. So that's where the most complex care should go. We're a community hospital, so we don't have quite the depth. But we're going to be able to take care of most things here, or if we'll assess you, and then if you need more specialized care, then you go downtown. So I would liken it more to hub and spoke model, where we're the spoke.
Are you fearful of opening and people everybody just kind of bombarding down here because it's new, and nothing because it's new?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm not sick, and I already thought about it. So I just imagine somebody that gets sick. I'm just going to Columbia County.
That would be a good problem to have. That would certainly be a good problem to have. I think we're more worried that we open and then we're just waiting for patients to come. So I think I think you're right. I think that being the newest hospital on the block, people are going to want to come here. Because they're interested, they want to see what the new hospital is and whether staff is good. So I'm hopeful that we get something less than bum rushed.
No, definitely. Now I know we spoke a little bit about it before, but when it as it relates to Eisenhower, now I know they have their own thing going on. What I guess for what you can speak on, what can y'all say about helping those patients over there, whether they want care or not from here?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I know there's um, a lot of like Eisenhower itself is in flux and what care they're going to provide, whether they're not going to, whether they're going to continue inpatient care or not. I think the main message to them or the military community is we are here to support. So if there are patients or veterans, families, active duty service members, or even the contractors and civilians that work on the base, if they live in the local community and they need care, we're here to support them. So if they come to us either through the ED or they go through the medical office building for specialty care, we take all comers. So we will certainly be here to support them.
Okay, definitely. And I think that they'll definitely appreciate that. And I think you appreciate this with your background as well. So I'm
Yeah.
sure it's important to you. But just for the landscape of the medical center, what are we looking at? I see the size, like how many beds, how many rooms. Like I don't know all the verbiage of what y'all have.
Yeah.
Even Red was saying some stuff. Oh, I don't know what none of that stuff mean. I just be saying okay. So like what is the landscape here as far as like space and what y'all have?
Yeah. Let me start from the outside, right? So this campus itself is 52 acres, so pretty large. We've developed 38 acres on the campus itself. We have a main hospital building and then a medical office building, and then we have a lot of surface parking. But there's room to grow, right? So we can certainly grow with the community as the needs grow. In the hospital itself, we have 100 beds, so 100 inpatient rooms. There's 84 that's sort of lower acuity medical surgical, and then there's 16 ICU level care. Then we have 6 operating rooms, and then we have a cath lab and interventional radiology, and then 2 endoscopy suites, and then we have all the diagnostic imaging that you would expect a hospital to have. So CT, MRI, X-rays, ultrasounds, nuclear medicine, and then our emergency department is it's a 17-bed emergency department, but we're already expanding. So
Okay.
If you drive by, you'll see active construction going on right now, and that's because we were approved to expand the ED from its current size, which is 17, to 40. Now that's not going to be open by opening day. That construction is going to take a few months. We anticipate that construction will be complete in April, and then we'll open it in May. But within a year of us opening, we're basically going to more than double the size of our emergency department.
And I know like you haven't opened yet and y'all opening soon, but what was the mindset behind doubling it before you even open? Like
Yeah, I think the main thing there was that we knew that it was the facility was sized to what was approved in 2014, and so we knew that the community had grown significantly since then, and so we recognized that the ED was probably undersized, and so based on the growth in the community, we requested a separate letter of determination to expand the ED to bring us from 17 to 40.
were you around 2014 in
I was
Augusta?
not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
in 2014, I was in DC at the time, I think.
Okay. Yeah, even 2014, 2008, it just looked a lot different out here. I think
Yeah.
I was talking to Red about that a while back. It was nothing over here for a long time. I think a Waffle House. I think, yeah, in a gas station.
Yeah.
Then
Walmart?
that was there, but I mean, honestly, I didn't even know one was because nothing else was out here, so I just didn't see that.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many housing communities in this area now.
Yeah. So, 2014 to 2026 is a lot different. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd imagine that they need to go ahead and up that. But even for you, just in what your day-to-day will be, what would you say like is the strength of yours? Like, what are you really like your the main thing you're good at as far as from a leadership standpoint?
I think I understand. I understand the bigger picture and where we need to go generally as an organization. So like every place where I've been, and then I feel like I'm pretty good at communicating that so that all the subordinate leaders can ensure that their activities are aligned to that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a pretty good communicator, and yeah,
You
I
speak
like
well.
to.
I mean, I
I
think you
like
speak
to. I
well.
like to. The other thing I like to do too is, I think as a leader, what you need to do is you need to support those under you. Make sure that they have the resources available for them to take care to do their job. So I feel like I'm pretty good at removing stumbling blocks. Like if there are roadblocks, I try to give leaders the latitude so that they can do their own thing.
Hmm.
Um, but then I'm there to support them if they run into roadblocks. Like I don't want to micromanage. Um, but you'd have to ask my subordinates to ask them if
Well,
I do that.
yeah, I got this. I got this thing I do. I'll come back and after a couple months and let y'all get some running in, and maybe I'll talk to somebody that's under you, and they can tell me. So we'll go
Okay.
from there. I'll do undercover. They won't tell them who I am. But I asked about the leadership and just the strength about what you're good at and just in leadership because being in this space, especially in the county like Columbia County, it's like a lot of high expectations. Not just with medical center, anything out here, anything that's built out here, it's high expectations for it. That's something that you feel like you'll be ready for as a leader.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to deliver on the. I know the community has high expectations for what this hospital is going to provide. I think in general, we're going to provide it. We're gonna meet those expectations. The other thing I failed to mention too, like another quality that I think I'm good at is just collaboration. Right, leading at this level requires that. Like again, it's not a top down approach.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that are involved in building a hospital. We have so many subject matter experts in all the different facets. It's like once you get to a certain level as a leader, it's not possible for you to know the nitty gritty on every little thing. You have to be able to lean on subject matter experts to come up with a plan and execute the plan for their areas. And that's so true for this hospital too. Is that we had experts from our corporate office down to Wellstar Medical Group to Wellstar MCG Health downtown, and then our leaders on locally. And so just bringing those people together and making sure that we were all aligned on where we needed to go and what opening day would look like or the type of services we're providing. I think that's another strength that I would say that I have.
No, I like everything you just said, especially the collaboration part. I think what I took from that the most was relying on the experts. I
Yeah.
think you're right. When you in leadership, you get to a certain point where you're not going to know everything that you. Cause some people they work their way up, so of course they're going to know a lot because they've been in that situation for so long and they're moving up. But as you're up already and you doing other meetings, conference calls that had nothing to do with certain things that require the little nitty gritty part. You don't know everything, so you have to rely on the people that do that on a daily basis to do their job at a high level or help them do their job at a high level as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I see that a lot, and maybe not so much in the hospital field, but you'll go somewhere and of course you have a person that's underneath and they'll say their boss don't know enough. They don't know nothing. Well, yeah, I don't know it. A, B, C, D that you do, but I know it got to be done. So,
Yeah.
but I see that a lot, and I think that you explained that perfectly. So your communication skills, I give you an A plus. Clap it up for you. And then also, like I said, Columbia County. I don't know how familiar you are with just Augusta in general. It's a lot of connotation with those two words, positive and negative. Depending on what side of the coin you're on. But just even though it says Wellstar Columbia County, everybody can come here. It's not just a Columbia County medical center.
Of course.
No, you got to say that right here.
Yeah.
If you don't say it here,
Yeah.
it's
No. Richmond County residents are welcome.
specifically. Yes,
Yeah.
please. I'm clapping up for you again, man. You know what to say. Yeah. I just want to
right.
make sure. I had to get that. That was one thing they asked me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we come there?
We don't check residency when people come through our doors. Anybody that comes through our doors, wherever they live, they're welcome.
Okay. Now I like that, and I think you'll get a lot of that here anyway. It looks nice. When things are new, people want to try it out anyway. Sure. So I doubt you have to stand outside and grab the first person you think may be sick to come in. They're gonna be knocking down the door as soon as they get there. So I think that's cool too. I know I asked you about community and just in general about anything you want to say, but it is the message, not just for Columbia County, just for anybody that's watching this that want to learn more about the hospital, what to expect, and what what they may see when they come here. Is there any words you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, one, I just want to say we're extremely excited to open the hospital. We're extremely excited to support the community. Um, you know, if anybody is sick or they feel like they need to come to the hospital, I would encourage them to come to us. You know, I think we're going to be able to provide them great care, great patient experience. Um, you know, I think the other thing I want to say is we will continue to grow as this community grows. And this hospital, the campus was designed so that we can grow with it.
And then I know you mentioned collaboration earlier, and I'm not going to say anything specific, but how important it is even collaborating with other leaders of other hospitals as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I think all the hospital leaders locally, we all know each other. We talk to each other. You know, the hospital industry here, like that workforce is finite. So, you know, we all have to collaborate to make sure that we have the right resources.
Yeah, I was talking to Ralph, and he mentioned that, and I didn't think about it at the time
Yeah.
because, you know, in retail side for me is like, oh, I work at Lowe's. Okay, you work at Home Depot. I might want to talk to you, but really, it's just like you might as well. You know, like why wouldn't y'all share
Yeah.
ideas and just ways to be better as leaders? You know, I'm not saying share financial records, of course, but you know, we'll definitely share just the stuff you can share. Because if you're in the business of people, it's just people getting better.
Yeah, and I think we all had different capabilities, right? And so some patients that come to us may end up going somewhere else, right? Like doctors has the burn center. So if a burn patient comes here, you know, we might stabilize them and then they'll go to the burn center. You know, if you're a pediatric patient and you're severely injured or ill, you're going to go to CHOG, you know? And so I think as a hospital community that all of us know each other's capabilities and it's not, I mean, there is competition there, but we also work together. We're all here to take care of the community writ large.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the same thing he said, same sentiment. So that's y'all on the same page there. Well, I know I asked you earlier, and I don't know if there's something that you would speak on, but for people that come and have great experiences or bad experiences, is there somewhere they can go to comment on that? Like,
yeah. I mean, after they get care here, they're going to get a survey. So we certainly request that we would encourage them to complete those surveys. Those surveys are a big deal. Our hospital gets graded on those survey results. So we definitely encourage them to do that. And then certainly if they want to post about their care or their experience on social media, that'd be great as well.
I guess, and this is one of the last questions I got, but I do want to ask this question because I like I said, the retail side of me is telling me to ask you this question. But how do you coach or tell your people, you know, how to go about the surveys when, you know, most time people only do surveys when they upset? It seems like studies have shown like people are more prone to give a survey when they're upset than when they get the greatest care in the world.
Yeah. Well,
so how do you offset that?
I think if you get the greatest care in the world, you're going to want to tell somebody, right? You know, we want our staff to take care of their patients like they're they're a family member. I know my wife was recently, had recently had care somewhere, and like she had poor experience, and so yeah, you're right. She's going to write about that. But on the flip side of the coin, when she has had exceptional experience, she makes sure that she fills out that survey because she wants to make sure that that staff is recognized. And so I would say the same thing, right? Like if you get exceptional care here, and there's a nurse or a physician or another worker in the house that made an impression on you, the best way to recognize them is to fill out that survey and then state that team member's name, and that'll let us know, hey, we need to recognize that team member for their excellence.
I like that. And this is just because you up there leadership wise. How important is it for everybody to be cohesive and just do their job at a high level? And that goes from the doctors to person ordering supplies to the front desk person to the janitor.
Well, if we're not cohesive, if we don't work well together as a team, then we're not going to be a well-oiled machine to take care of patients. So I think when we built this team, we were very, very focused on building the right culture from the beginning, right? We wanted people that worked well together, teamwork, that we collaborate well together, that we all have the same vision and the same values. And I'm quite confident that we've got the right team in place. I don't think that would be an issue for us.
Definitely. I like it. I just wanted to get that. I know I think about clips as well. Like when we doing this kind of sit down, you think about some of the clips, and I know I need that out there. Especially for people that can watch the podcast and want to try to apply. I want to make sure they know, like, do you fit this criteria? Or if not, just not waste nobody's time. So, I try to be try to be as true as possible, man. But I definitely appreciate you sitting down and talking with me. I'm gonna come here. I already know that. So I'm gonna come. I'm gonna support. I'm gonna see what's going on. If anybody wanted to reach out to anybody from the hospital, just have any questions, is there a certain email, a certain website they need to go to?
Yeah, our website's not live yet. It's going to go live next Wednesday. I believe it's going to be wellstar.org/Columbia County.
Okay, cool. Well, you got any questions for me? You got anything? Any more you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would close by I would want to thank our staff, right? It's been a long road to get here. We've faced building challenges. We faced other challenges getting into the building, but our staff has been phenomenal. For all of our leaders, everybody, getting us to the point to be on the cusp of opening. They've worked long hours. Many have worked over the weekends. And this goes for everybody, right? Whether they're nursing staff or our lab staff, environmental services, our kitchen folks. I can't speak enough about the staff. And I know that they were very dedicated to, our mission to open the hospital. But I know that once we open, they're going to provide exceptional care and great patient experience because they're as dedicated to this mission as anybody else.
Definitely. Well, clap it up for them as well. I know that's tough. I didn't realize that y'all wasn't open, but was still working. Like I don't know why. I don't know what I thought. Even when he was telling me before y'all started, like, yeah, we working. Like, y'all working here already? I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to get a building ready to be able to see patients, right? So beyond getting the facility in place, it's getting all the equipment in place. It's making sure all the supplies are ready, and then making our staff is trained, right? Like that, not only trained within their department, but trained so that they can hand off. In a hospital, there's a lot of handoffs between departments, and so making sure that that's all seamless. And then it's unbelievable how much IT infrastructure is built into a facility like that or like this.
Yeah, but if you don't mind, talk about that a little bit, the handoff part. Like when you say,
so if you think about a patient's journey, right? If they come in through the ED, right? There's a handoff, and then let's say in the ED they need to get an X-ray or a CT scan. There's a handoff right there. Let's say then we say, oh, you know what? We need to make you an inpatient. There's a handoff between the ED into the inpatient unit. Let's say that patient has overnight stay and then they need surgery the next day. Well, they need to eat, right? So then now I've got our food and nutrition staff is going to cook them either dinner or breakfast. But a dietitian needs to make sure that their food meets whatever restrictions they might have. While they're in the room needs to be clean. So environmental services is coming in and out. You've got physicians that are working with the nurses on the care plan. And then if that patient needs surgery and then they go downstairs to the second floor and they get surgery, there's another handoff. And then when they go down for surgery, they'll go from pre-op, they'll get the surgery, they may recover, and then they may go back upstairs. So in a single patient journey, you can see there's multiple handoffs there.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot when you think about even your experience at the hospital. Like your experience, imagine you having 7-6 handoffs and still say you got a good experience.
Yeah.
Because one handoff could ruin the whole experience.
Yeah, no, everybody contributes to it. Every single person, regardless of their role, contributes to the overall patient experience.
No, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like ending on that note. I like that. That's. I didn't think about it even last time talking to Ralph about. Even your experience can be based off the handoffs. I think we spoke about it, but not using that term handoffs. I didn't think about that even But me going to hospital, never thought about it.
Yep.
You stay in a room for a long time and you wondering what's going on. Somebody's talking to you, whatever. You can be upset. You want to leave. You don't know what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, every handoff probably is super important to the experience of that particular individual and their health.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for stopping and talking to me. This is going to be good. It's going to be major. I wish y'all nothing but success. And we got to do this again sometime, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for your time.
We'll do it again in 6 months, man. Let's get a half a year in first and see what's going on, okay?
Yeah, I'll let you know if you were bum rushed.
I don't know. I'm gonna holler at Ray. He gonna tell me anyway. So, all right, man. More Than Masters podcast. Thank you for stopping by.